It is time for Stugotz to share his game notes. No one in the media will tell you what happened better than my boy Stu.
Weekend observations brought to you by Miller Lite. Great taste, 96 calories, available for delivery.
Got him in early. The weekend observations are never this early. Stugotz is always scribbling and writing things during the show.
It's a big weekend, Dan. Dan, I remember the first time watching him play in the NFL and thinking to myself, he has a chance to be an all-time great. I was wrong. Mike once declared he had the goods, dude. And Stan Van Gundy laughed at him. Mike was also wrong. But Dan, he has gotten his team off to a 3-1 start and has played very well in the process, including 3 touchdowns yesterday on the road. And Dan, just like that, for the first time ever here on Weekend Observations, make no mistake about it, Baker Mayfield is back.
It hurts me to watch him play because of how hard it is to always get those 6 yards on 3rd and 5. But he's getting them.
Yes.
But he is getting them. But
you know what else he's getting? Victories.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
He's back.
He is back.
He's playing well. U.S. Ryder Cup team. Do it in Europe. I spent 1 to 4 p.m. Eastern on Sunday trying to figure out how the Jets beat the Bills. And I spent 4 to 7 p.m. on Sunday trying to figure out how the Jets lost to the Patriots.
Boy, that Belichick thing is starting to hurt, right?
Yeah.
It's weird to see them be so bad.
Mm-hmm. The announcer of the Colorado USC game said Caleb Williams will always draw comparisons to Patrick Mahomes because of his athletic ability. It's because he's black.
Wow, Stugotz.
It was Gus Johnson.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the white athletic quarterback usually gets Steve Young, maybe Trevor Lawrence. I mean, that's just the way it is. No?
Trevor Lawrence.
Wait, what
are you doing?
Comparisons.
No,
you got a million comparisons.
Oh, no.
What are you doing? What just happened?
Apologize like you apologize to Jonathan Coachman.
What do you,
apologize
do you
to
guys
everybody.
think what's happening?
I think it's happened.
Did you make Caleb Williams white?
No. No.
I'm genuinely confused what you're doing.
What do you mean?
Why'd you just mention the athletic white quarterback?
I was just saying that's where
Was there one playing in
he's
that game?
comparing Caleb to
Wait.
Patrick because both are black. The white athletic quarterback never gets compared to Patrick or Caleb.
Okay,
He
but-
always gets Steve Young or Trevor Lawrence.
Okay.
Kick save and a view.
Thank you. Roy gets it. Let me follow along here. Let's go. What happened?
I think you have to apologize to Jonathan Coachman again. Or Gus Johnson. Somebody. You got to apologize to somebody. We'll do it later.
Or the history of what Caleb's generally looked like previously.
Well,
and Patrick's, for that matter.
I apologize to Roy.
Thanks.
All right.
Do you accept it, or you?
No, I'll think about it later.
All right.
I mean, Roy, I needed you.
I'll think about it later.
I tried to bail you out there, man. I'm sorry.
I thought I did a good job of it afterwards.
You didn't.
I clarified.
You really didn't.
What I was trying to say, I clarified it. Let's move on. Tell me the last time.
This is why you don't wade into those waters. This is why you always cannonball. Like, why is this the time that you chose to wade into those waters?
I don't think, I mean, listen, I'll have to listen back to the tape and see if I said anything wrong, but I'm not certain I did. I got to be honest. We'll see. Dion, thank you. And scratch off the next observation, Mike. I am getting out of this topic, okay?
You have them
I had
in
another
front.
Caleb one, but let's bail on that
Give it
one.
to Dan.
You
All
have
right.
them,
Dan, so
you
you
have
can
them
read
in
it.
front of you. You want to
Yeah.
give it to Roy? You want to go back there and give it to Roy?
Well, I mean, Roy can come here. I mean, I'm busy.
Whoa, that's not a good look.
Whoa.
That's
Roy, I mean,
not-
come
not-
here. Roy,
not a
Roy,
good look.
I'll email them to you, Roy.
Given this, the way
Roy,
this
I'll
has
email
gone,
them
the
to you.
optics
Roy,
are
I
real.
love you.
The optics are bad.
I'm sorry.
I love yous do not fix what's happening right now.
I didn't ask for any of this.
Yes, for all of it.
I'm
need-
sorry, Roy.
Tell him no need to get angry.
Deion Sanders and Michael Irvin. Get a room. Also, goosebumps.
Get a room. That was a beautiful moment.
I said goosebumps.
Get a room.
But seriously, get a room.
Well, which is it? It can't be both of those things. Don't do that in public, but when you do it in public, it gives me goosebumps.
When we look back at what a big deal we made about Colorado beating TCU, we're going to be embarrassed. Dan, you know what the CU in Colorado University stands for? It stands for see you next year. How about that? You know what the U in UCF stands for?
I do not.
You shouldn't have joined a real conference. You know what the F stands for?
No.
Frauds.
Oh, wow.
34-14 USC in the first half, 27-14 Colorado in the second half. You, of course, know what that game was, right, Dan? Yeah, look at you. You're good at that one.
Yeah,
that one you always get, yeah. Tip of the cap to Tim Wakefield. R.I.P. It's a sad day. Right in the middle of the day yesterday, right?
Oh, and
Timmy Wakefield.
Schilling.
Yeah.
Schilling, what are you doing? Betraying health confidences. What are you doing?
Being Kurt Schilling.
Oh,
Dan, you know what the B in Buck Showalter stands for?
I do not.
It stands for bye-bye. You know what the S stands for?
Shit out of luck.
Somebody show that man the door. Shit out of luck was a good one, though.
Was his heartfelt apology on paper? Like, did I experience that the wrong way?
How did you experience
It seemed like he was like, I have a lot of things to say, but he was reading right off of a piece of paper, but saying he didn't want to miss anything and that it was heartfelt. And then at the end, he's like, I can't say anymore. Or he was going to start crying. But he was like, has anyone ever cried off of something that they were reading off a piece of paper?
I just gave my brother's eulogy.
Jeez.
I mean, you asked.
Walked right into that one.
You asked.
Got your ass, Billy.
You asked.
You like that card.
I mean, you asked.
Feel like I'm off the hook. The dead brother card. 18 years, almost 3,000 innings pitched, and Adam Wainwright gets a puppy?
It's a good gift.
It is? Miguel Cabrera,
Now, here's a lifelong responsibility.
heck of a run. It was a slow run, but well done.
It did get slow at the end. That run did get slow as he milked the rest of his contract.
Bill Belichick, New York Jets, collision course. You heard it here first. Bill Belichick will be the next head coach of the LA Chargers. You heard it here first. Bill Belichick is going to be the next head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals. Dan, that looks like Joe Burrow, but that ain't Joe Burrow. You know what I mean? Aiden O'Connell, great name for an Irish pub. Headline, Kim Kardashian and Odell Beckham Jr. are hanging out. OBJ, my headline, they are having sex. Matt Rule, you forgot your ski mask. Dan, you know what the O in Odell Beckham stands for? It stands for, oh yeah, I'm most definitely having sex with Kim.
Orgasm is what I was going to say. But you asked me, and then you just kept running into that field where it's like there are people having sex, and I'm gonna shout about it.
What I'm doing is sprinting away from Caleb Williams. That's what I'm doing.
I saw a report that Kim Kardashian and Tom Brady were flirting again. What happens if Kim Kardashian and Taylor Swift are at the same stadium at the same time? Both sportsing.
Something to ponder.
Just file that away for a rainy day. Thanks, Stugotz.
The Jaguars finally played a home game. There's no two ways about it, Dan.
Did you miss the 9:30 start again at LeBatard Show? Did you
I
forget
enjoyed
that
it.
Time
football?
for Stugotz to share his.
Whoops. Yeah,
Resetting the music.
we need just the music and not the intro. Jacksonville, again, I forgot the 9:30 game at LeBatard Show. Did you forget about 9:30 a.m. football yesterday? Can you do it a cappella, or do you need the music, Stugotz?
I don't care. It's up
All
to
right,
you guys.
keep it going, because Jessica at this point is physically falling on the floor and is perpendicular to the ground, parallel to the ground. Go ahead, Stugotz.
All right. Dan, there's no two ways about it. If I have Carvel, I'm spending the entire next day on the can. Had to make a hard decision over the weekend, and I decided that me and Carvel have danced our last dance.
I gotta be honest, that is worse. That all sounds worse when it's got no. It doesn't have the music behind it. Okay, Jessica, go sit in the penalty box.
Oh, my God.
Go sit in the penalty box for
I am
2
so
minutes.
off the hook. Woo. Yes.
It can't happen twice. You got to go sit in the penalty box.
Huh.
I'm not a sound engineer. I don't know why you're asking me to do this.
I understand, but you only because physically
I did not ask for any of
Okay,
this.
but you're
That a girl.
you look like you're in charge of things, so you're going to have to go sit in the penalty box for 2 minutes.
Oh,
I'm not trying to give this to
no.
you. But now we've got no music, and you're going to have to do this a cappella, Stugotz. And I prefer the visual image of you eating too much Carvel.
Is it a quantity thing?
It's just anything. I mean, any amount of Carvel, I spend the entire next day on the can.
Are you lactose intolerant?
I don't know.
Oh, he
man.
must be at this point. I got to think that that's what's happening at this point, and he's undiagnosed. Put it on the poll. Do you spend the entire day on the can after you've eaten Carvel? I saw that Zach Wilson showed up at Jets camp and bought everyone ice cream.
Really?
That's something that he actually did, yeah. And then they did nap time, and he bought him Legos, too, afterward, because he's 4 years old.
It's also not his last dance,
Right.
Carvel, if I were to bet.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Probably not my last dance. You're right. Yeah.
It's just an empty threat.
Duke Notre Dame should be called the Entitlement Bowl. Ken Jong is the best Duke can do. Really?
Yes, that would have been the best Duke
Really?
victory ever. That would have been the biggest win in program history.
I'm talking about as a celebrity picker on College Game Day. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Georgia, congratulations on doing what you had to do, on pulling out an ugly win, and on surviving and advancing. Well done. The Bulldogs. The rare trifecta there. Huh? Also, as I told you last week, something is just a little off in Athens. Notre Dame is a player away from being undefeated. Only Sam Hartman has the longevity to be the only quarterback to beat Duke playing for two different teams.
Stugotz, it was 4th and 16.
Yeah.
And if you had Duke and bet them like I did, money line and points,
Yep.
money line and points, do you know how heartbreaking it is to have Notre Dame win that way at the end, where they were just trying to hand the ball off to get a field goal?
I do. I had Notre Dame.
And I was already counting at least my money, and I'm saying I'm going to split here if I've got the money line and the points.
Right.
And no, and then I was surprised by it and started doing counting when he got to the end zone. I'm like, no! Like, that was a 5.5 point spread. No, you were trying to get in a field goal range. It surprised me.
Yeah.
I wasn't excited for the sports moment. It was just my money flying away.
Dan, it took 155 games, but baseball is starting to heat up. Sam Hartman can scoot. So could Justin Herbert. That was surprising. Sam Hartman, good name for a member of a rock band. Top 5 quarterbacks who have good names for a member of a rock band.
Oh, wow, that's a good one.
Number 5, Doak Walker. Number 4, thank you, Brock Berlin.
Yeah, also good, yes.
Number 3,
It's a real wheelhouse for him.
Bailey Zappi. Number 2, Sammy Baugh. And number 1, Elvis Gerback.
It's a good list. Solid list.
Here come the Padres.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
What?
Won 5 straight.
But wait,
He's right, yeah.
no. They're one of the most disappointing teams ever. They did not make the playoffs. What do you mean? Here come the
Don't
Padres?
let him get to October, Dan.
Exactly.
But
Like,
no,
they're the gold, the
nobody
Padres.
did. Nobody
Picking
did
at the
let
right
them-
time.
Nobody
Yep.
did let them get to October. I mean, they're they're an apocalyptic failure.
Here's something to ponder. Is Sam Hartman good? 60 minutes. Go back to Boulder. I dare you. Rory McIlroy.
Oh, you always
Joe
you
LaCava.
always
Chippy.
your dyslexia is never worse than on McElroy.
Chippy, though. I know. It's the worst. Miami Marlins. Gutsy little baseball team. Hey, NFL. If you're trying to grow the game in London, you probably shouldn't have sent Desmond Ritter, death, taxes, and Chase Claypool running his mouth. Latavius Murray, professional football player.
Put it on the poll, Juju, at LeBatard Show. Latavius Murray, professional football player. And just yes or no.
Will Lutz is a Denver Bronco. Denver Broncos, congratulations on bouncing back and getting off the schneid. Chicago Bears, great loss. Wherever Sean Payton goes, I can promise you one thing and one thing only. Will Lutz won't be very far behind.
It's a great name. It's a great comedic name. Will Lutz.
D'Amico Ryans, Coach of the Year, Collision Course. The Jets beat the Bills. The Dolphins lost to the Bills. Football. Buffalo Bills. Message sent. Heard you loud and clear. Riverboat Ron my ass. 31-20. Interesting time to go for Tua. Golf and football on a Sunday morning. Is this heaven? I asked Abby that. She said, for you, yes. For me, it's my personal hell. Speaking of hell, Art Briles. Dan, those are the weekend observations. I'm sorry.